The first game that we're going to look at today is a game called Kakooma. If you watched my video about Tangy Tuesday Pack 1, you probably saw that there were Kakooma puzzles within that pack. Those puzzles actually come from this online game, which was an online game first on the Greg Tang website, and it's probably the most popular game on Greg Tang's site. So let's go ahead and check out this game. When you open up the game, you can actually go to a section where you can choose to practice, play, or compete. When you compete, you can actually compete against other people in real time. We're just going to go to the regular play section. You'll choose your operator, either addition or multiplication. We'll try both today, but let's just look at addition. And you're going to choose your level. Now, obviously, as you increase in level, the difficulty and complexity of these puzzles is going to increase. It's also going to change how many options you have, and I'll explain what that means here in just a little bit. So let's choose a level 3 puzzle. Now, one thing I do want to say before we start this puzzle is, even as an adult, these puzzles are not easy because you have to do tons of mental computations in order to find your answer, and something can be staring right at you or sitting right in front of you, and it's hard to even notice it. And you'll probably see that as I try and work through some of these puzzles. So if we start, you can see that we've got different hexagons around here, and those hexagons are filled with numbers. We've also got a sun rising and setting in the back. Your goal is to try and get through this entire puzzle before that sun sets on the other side. So in order to do that, you are going to find two numbers in each of these puzzles that add to make the other number. You're essentially trying to find a number bond. And as you can notice, they start dropping some of these numbers away as you go to start making the puzzle a little bit easier for you. So if we look over here, we can see that 3 and 16 make 19. So I'm going to click on 19. That was the correct answer, so it's going to show there. Okay. If we look over here, we can see that 10 and 8 make 18, but let's say we accidentally clicked 14. It's not the correct answer. We still have to answer it correctly. So our answer there would be 18. 8 and 2 make 10 over here. 10 and 3 make 13 over here. Oh, let's see. We've got 4 and 2 make 6 over here. And finally, we've got 9 and 5 make 14. Now, I was kind of lucky. I usually am not that quick when doing these. But now you can see that we're actually left with one final puzzle that we still have to try and solve here. So we have 6 and 13 make 19. And we were able to solve that puzzle, and then you move on to round 2. You continue moving on with these puzzles, and they get more and more difficult as you go. Now, like I said, depending on the level that you choose, the more options you will have. So, for instance, we still have our hexagon here, but we're going to be working with greater digits in this case, or greater numbers. If you get all the way up to level 6, you end up having a 9x9 grid, or a 9x9 square for each of your puzzles you have to solve. So it gets a little bit more difficult. Here, we'll look at a level 1 puzzle, and that will kind of show us the difference. In a level 1 puzzle, you actually only got 4 options there to choose from, so it's a little bit more simple. In a level 6 puzzle, you would actually have a 3x3 grid here for each of these to solve. Let's go back and we're going to look at what multiplication looks like. It's the exact same thing. This time we're just using multiplication operators to solve, with one slight difference. So if we look here, we're just trying to find two factors that make the third factor, or the third multiple in this case. So we have 9 times 4 makes 36. We have 4 times 2 makes 8. 4 times 6 makes 24. We have 8 times 4 makes 32, and 5 times 4 makes 20. Now at the end you have an addition sentence you have to solve here, because otherwise our numbers would have to be crazy high in order to do multiplication here. So we have an addition sentence here. 8 plus 24 makes 32, and we've solved that puzzle. So it's essentially the same as our addition puzzles, just with a different operator there. That is Kakooma. Now this might seem like a game that just really would be boring for students, but the timed aspect of it, and even the ability to compete and kind of improve on your last play, is what makes this such a fun one for students to come back to over and over and over again. So that is Kakooma from Greg Tang Math. Probably the most popular game on the Greg Tang website. Probably the first game that I've ever played on the Greg Tang website.